Hello everyone. So in this video, we will be going to deploy a simple Django application on Elastic Beanstalk. I will be using this AWS document for this in this video, which is very good, and it give you a step-by-step instruction to install and deploy the Django application on Elastic Beanstalk. So there are some prerequisites. You need to have Python, pip, virtual environment, and AWS EBCLI package installed in your local system. In this video, I will be using Ubuntu as my local system, and and I have already installed all of this dependency in my Ubuntu system. So if you don't have installed any of this dependency, please make sure you install it before going further. I will be sharing this useful AWS document to install all the required dependency. Okay, so to start with, first we need to create a virtual environment. So now our first aim is to deploy a simple web application, Django application on our local system, and then we will be going to use that sample Django application to host on the Elastic Beanstalk. So let's first create a virtual environment in our local system, in our local environment. So I will be creating a virtual environment named EB virtual, and then we will be going to activate that virtual environment. So the environment is created. Now we will be going to activate this environment. The environment is already activated. So now we will be going to install our sample Django application. We will be going to use 2.2 version. Oops, it didn't copy it completely. So let me copy it again. So this will install the Django. So while it is installing, uh, we will verify we will list all the packages installed in our virtual environment with the help of pip freeze. So this will also verify Django install. Once it is completed, we will be going to run pip freeze to verify that Django is installed. Okay, it is completed. Now let's run the pip freeze. So yes, Django is installed with 2.2 version. Now we will be going to create a sample Django project, and we will be deploying that Django application on our local server. So as we have already activated our virtual environment, you can see here we have already activated virtual environment, so we don't have to run it again. And then we will be going to use this Django admin to create a Django project name EB Django. So we will be going to use this command to create a sample Django application named EB Django. Oops, again. Okay, now this will create. So if I do it ILL, so you can see here the it created a sample Django application here. So now if we go inside this Django application, EB Django, so you can see we have this tree structure. We have manage.py, we have setting.py in our Django folder. Okay, so now we have already covered these steps. We will run the Python Django here, but before running this, before running the run server, uh, we also need to allow this local domain. So we need to allow this local domain. So to do that, what if we have to do? We will be going to go inside the Django, and there is a one file name setting.py. So here we have to specify. We have to specify all the allow hosts. So as we are running this application in our local server, we have to allow the local host here. So I will be adding the local domain here. Okay, so this will allow this domain. Okay, so now let's save and quit. So this will do the save. I'm using the Vim editor. You can use any of your favorite editor. So save it and exit. So now we can run our server. So let's run our server. So now our application is running on this server, on the development server. So I will be using the incognito mode. So if I refresh it, I should be able to access this. So if you can see here, I can access my application, Django application, successfully on my local server. Okay. So far so good. We are going into the right direction. So we can see we have already covered. We can see all the logs are getting generated here, and there is no error here. And now we will be going to configure our Django application for Elastic Beanstalk. Now this interesting part start. Okay, so now first thing, we have to activate our virtual server. We have already activated our virtual server. We are running the application here. We are already in our virtual server. Okay. Now, okay, so we need to create a requirement.txt file which will list all the required dependency, and the EB's Elastic Beanstalk is going to use this requirement.txt file to install all the required dependency on your EC2 instances. These instances are nothing but as servers. So we the Elastic Beanstalk server going to use this requirement.txt file to install all the requirement dependency for your Django application. So let's run this requirement. Let's run this command to get all the requirement. So we have to run this command into this folder only. Okay, so we are in this folder, Django folder only. So now let's copy this and run it. So this will create a new file, that is requirement.txt file. It will have all the requirement listed. So if we get it, sorry, if we simply get it, it will list all the requirement dependency. Okay, so there is no so there's no requirement. Seems like there's no requirement. Uh, okay, so yeah, now it is showing. So if you can see, it lists all the requirement dependency here with all the required version. Okay. Now, like I said, Elastic Beanstalk will going to use this txt file to determine which package to install on the EC2 instances that run our application. So now we have to create one more folder, that is .eb extension. So this folder basically holds all the configuration related files. So if we want to configure our Elastic Beanstalk environment, if you want to customize your Elastic Beanstalk environment, then you can basically create a config file inside this folder. So let's first create this folder, .eb extension folder. So this folder is created now. Okay, so now we will be going to create a new file, .eb extension directory. So we will going to create this new configuration file. Okay, so let's copy this content. Let's first copy this file name which we will need to create. So we will be going to create this file inside eb extension. So let's get into eb extension. Now we will be going to create a new file name, Django.config file. Okay, now we're going to paste this code inside this file, and we also need to add two more lines to enable all the CSV, all the statics files. If you don't add these two lines, your CSS, your images, your static file will not going to properly work. It will not load in the browser. So please make sure you add these two lines also and correct the indentation. So sorry. Okay, please make sure you add all these four lines. Okay, now what is the next step? We have covered all these things. Now we can terminate our Django. We can terminate our virtual environment here. So let's terminate this. We don't need it now. Okay, we terminate our, and let's back to our root folder, which is eb Django. Now, if I show you the tree directory for this, for my for my Django application, you can see we have eb.eb extension file directory where I have this configuration file. Then I have this migration file which will be going to run it later in this video to create super user and admin user. And then we have the eb application. So inside it we have this setting.py file where we specify all the allow host, and we have this manage.py file, and we have requirement.txt file to which list all the which have all the required dependency. Okay, so far so good. Now let's let's create a new environment in Elastic Beanstalk. So let's run this eb init python. So let's run it. So basically this will be going to create a new application named Django tutorials. Okay, so this will be going to create a new application Django tutorial. So let's run this command. Let me copy it again. So okay, so this will be going to create a new application named Django tutorial in Elastic Beanstalk. Okay, I have not configure my I have not configure this environment to use the right credentials. So let me do. Okay, so unfortunately I entered the wrong credential here. So I will set it again. So I remove the my. So when we so basically when you don't have this AWS config, when you didn't configure the credential before, it create a it create a file in this directory. So I removed that file. So now if I run it again, this eb init, so it will ask me again to set the credential. So I will be going to set the credential now. So I will copy the key here. Then I will be going to copy my secret key here. And by default it will be going to use the default region. So application is created now. So what I was saying, by default it will use the default region, which is Oregon, US South West 2. So all the resources will be going to create in this region, US West 2. So the application is created here. So what we will going to do now, so once the application is created, we will be going to run eb init. So if you want to create your SSH key, if you want to SSH into your instance, if you want to create your SSH key pair, you can run it eb init again. In for now, I will not going to use the not going to create any key pair. So I will go with no. I don't want to set up the SSH for this instance. So I will set it as an A. But if you want it, you can create it. You can create select the Y and you can create a key pair. Okay. So now we will going to create an environment and deploy your application with eb create. So let's create an environment with this command eb create Django. So this will be going to create a environment Django env. Okay. So let's enter. Okay. So once. So in case, so this will take time because now it will start deploying all the resources. It will create it will launch new instance. It will launch new um, auto scaling. It will create a new security groups. It will do all of these. It will do all of these things. It will generate all the. It will uh, create all of these resources for you. So if I show you in the backend, if I show you in the AWS, so Elastic Beanstalk basically use the CloudFormation service to deploy all the resources. So it will create a stack in the CloudFormation. So here you can say, here you can see it created a CloudFormation stack. So with this stack, it is going to create all the resources. So if you see for this uh, um, if you see for this event, it is creating all the resource, it is creating auto scaling, it is creating the load balancer for you. So all this process are automatic. It created the security group for you. So you can see all the resources being created here. Okay, so It will take time as it is creating. So if you can see, it is now launching the EC2 instances, so it will take time. So in case if you are getting the error that uh, in case you are getting the error that your instance profile is not associated with the environment, so there is a one very good answer here. Please make sure you follow the detailed answer here. So basically you need to have this uh, instance profile created with all of these resource, all of this permission, and with this trust policy. So please make sure in case you are getting this error that is the role is not created for you, so you need to create this role before. Okay, so I will be sharing this answer link in the video also, so you can also refer in case if you are getting this error. Please just make sure to follow this answer. It is very good. It is very good, very well written, and you can simply refer the instruction here. Okay, so for now, as I will be pause this video as it will take time to launch all the resources. So I will come back once it is done. Okay, so now if you see in the cloud formation, so if you see in the cloud formation, the stack is created already here, and so we can simply control C. Okay, so it created all the. So now if we see in our elastic beanstalk, so we should have application. Yeah, you can see that Django application is created. We should have environment Django. Right now it is a serious state because we haven't allowed the we haven't added the allow host. We have to update the setting.py to allow the host. So but if you see we have if you see in the EC2 instance, we have this instance running one. It created the security group. It has auto scaling. So if you see for the auto scaling, it created the auto scaling here. AWS EB, it created the auto scaling, and it also created the instance. If I show you the instance, so Django EB, the instance is also created. So what we have to do now, so we can get the status in our terminal also. So if I run the EB status, so yeah, it is saying the environment is the application. It is saying all the details here. Okay, the status is ready. Health is red. Okay, the status is ready now. The health is red, which is going to fix now. Now, so if you see here, the CNAME, this is important. So CNAME, this is the host where our application is hosted. So copy this this CNAME here. Now we have to let's go into Django and set and open the setting.py, and we have to allow this domain here. Sorry, we have to allow this domain here. So, didn't copy it properly. So let me exit and copy it again. This time I will copy it somewhere here. It is not copying. Okay, now this time it copied. So let's open the setting.py and add this domain here. So okay, so now save and exit. Okay, so we allow this domain. So your environment domain is the CNAME that we just add. So here it is saying to add this domain in our setting.py that we already did. Now we have to simply deploy it because we have made changes. We have to deploy it again. So this will create a new version. So ab deploy. So this will redeploy it again with this new change. Okay. So let it finish. So it is creating new version application. So if I show you in the EB, if I show you in the elastic beanstalk, so there is the application. So so if you go to the application version, so it will be going to create a new application version here. So once it is created, you will see the two entry. You will be going to see the two entry here, because we redeploy it, right? So it will be going to create a new application version here. So let it complete. So again, I will pause the video and I will come back once the deployment is completed. Okay, so the deployment is done now. So if I show you in the AWS console, so if I go to the application, you can see there are multiple versions. So health is now is okay. Okay, because we added the we added the allow host. Okay, so if you see here application version, we have a multiple version. We deploy multiple times, so that's why we have a multiple version. And then one more thing I wanted to show you. If I go to this environment and there is a configuration here. So if I go to this sorry, so here okay, so yeah, so okay, sorry. So here if you go to this environment and then if you go to the configuration here, so if you see here we have two type of role that I was mentioning before. We have service role and we have easy to instance profile. So make sure you have both the two role created. If you don't have this role created before, you will be going to get an error. So please make sure you have created this role before only, before creating the application and before creating deploying the and before running the EB in it. Okay, before running the EB in it, please make sure you create both these two roles. So in our case, now if you it is the application is now running, so we can simply go to this application when we can copy the URL. So if I refresh why it is in the environment, so it is installed successfully. If you can see here, you can access it. Maybe it will take time to get the health back into the green, because we saw it, right? It was green before only, so it will take time maybe. So it should green now actually. So if you go to the environment, Django, okay, I will check it later why the health is negative, but we can simply we can access our application here. If you can see here, so now our next step is AB open. We already open it, so we don't have to run it, but you can also run it AB open. It will simply open the application in the browser automatically. Okay, so as we have already open, so it is already open here. So now the next step is we will be going to create a admin user. Okay, so for that let's run the migration. So here I will go one folder up and I will run the migration. Okay, I need to specify Python. Okay, we have to first activate our virtual environment. It is now deactivated, so let's activate the virtual environment first. So let me activate, yeah, so let's activate the environment. Now let's run this Python manage migrate. So this will migrate the data. It will create the tables and it will do all these things. It will run the basic migration. So we were at this step. Yeah, we were at this step. Okay, so it will run the migration. Once the migration, we will create the admin user with this command. So we will going to use this command. So simply you can copy this one. So the migration is completed. Now we will create the admin user. So I will be going to use admin email. I will be going just copy pasting this value. Password, you can give any password. 8-letter password you need to provide. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So I created the admin user. So now, yeah, to tell the Django where to stay, so we need to have this. We need to add the static root in our setting.p and setting.py to store all the static files. So let's open this setting.py again. So I will go inside A Django and I will open this setting.py and I will search for static. Sorry, I will search for static. Okay, so here in the end I will add this line which is static. So this will tell the Django to store the static files defined in the static root. Okay, so let's copy it, let's save it and exit. Okay, now let's run this python manage correct statics. Okay, and so let's go one directory up and run this command. So static file is copied to this directory now. Now we can simply deploy because we made some file changes, so we have to deploy it again. So this will create a new version, application version in our Elastic Beanstalk environment. So this will create a new version here. So once it is created, we should be able to access and we should be able to log in the admin portal. So once it is finished, then we will log in into the admin. So it might take time, so I will be going to pause it. So and I will come back. Okay, this was very weird from AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So I was getting this error. So what I will do, I did multiple AB deploy, and I was able to get it successful. So once it is successful, I saw the status is also the health status is green now. So yeah, if you can see here, something is wrong with the AWS Elastic Beanstalk. So now everything after the new deployment, everything is now success. Health is success. I did nothing. I just redeploy the changes that we discussed before only. I just redeploy multiple times, and now the health status back to green. So if you can see here, the health status is okay. Now again it is come to the savior. So something is wrong with the AWS CLI. So, but when if I still I'm able to access my application here. So now if I go to admin tab, so I should be able to access the administrator page. So you can see here I can access the administrator page and I can type the admin and your password, whatever you set before. You can simply give it. Okay, so now you can see here I'm logged in. So our application is working perfectly fine here. So we have deployed this simple AWS CLIs. We have deployed this Elastic Beanstalk. We have deployed the Django application, sorry, on the Elastic Beanstalk. So now to clean up everything, so now we have to clean up everything. Okay, so to clean up everything, basically we can run this eb terminate and it will be going to destroy terminate all the resources that it created, but it will not delete two things. It will not delete the application. It will not delete the S3 bucket where it store all your resource code. Okay, so that we have to do it manually. So let's run this first. So it will trigger the delete. So let's ab terminate Django. So this will be going to terminate our environment. Okay, so now you have to confirm it. So just type Django env. So this will now start terminating all the resources. So terminate is starting. So if you see in the CloudFormation, so the stack would be in the deletion process or deleting process. So now this will going to delete automatically every resource that it created. So load balance, security group, it will be going to destroy everything, but it will not going to destroy terminate two things. One is the bucket that it created, so that we have to do it manually. So we have to first empty the bucket that it created, and we also need to delete the application manually. So let it complete the process, then we will do the manual cleanup. So again, I will be pausing this video. So when I checked in my CloudFormation, so when I refresh this one, it is showing no stake. So the stake is now deleted. So when I go back to the stake, so there is no stake. So every resource has been deleted. So if I go to EC2 instances, it should be in the terminate state. So yeah, there is no running instance. So it is already terminated. Okay. So if I go to the scaling, there is no auto scaling created here now. Everything is there is no load balancer. Everything is clean now. There is no auto scaling group here. There is no auto scaling group, and there is no security group also. So and but when we see for the bucket, so the bucket will not be deleted automatically. So we have to first empty this bucket. So click on the empty, then click type the permanent delete here. So this will empty the bucket, and it will then we have to delete it also. So just delete it. Okay, it is saying you don't have permission to delete the bucket. So for that, what you need to do, go to this bucket permission, and there is this policy. So because of this policy, it is not allowing us to delete it. So simply remove the IAM policy and click on the save changes, and now click on the object, and there is no object. Just go to the bucket and now try to delete it again. So it will get deleted successfully. Let's click on the save, delete bucket. So the bucket is also now deleted. So we can close this one. We can close this one. The site is not accessible. Yeah, because we deleted the environment. So we also need to clean this application manually. So let's delete the application and type the application name. So now it started terminating. Okay, the application will also gone now. So this is all guys. So if you like the video, please make sure you click on the like button. Thank you. I will see you in the next. Sorry, I also forgot to. Yeah, so you can also remove the entire thing in your local also. So just go, just deactivate this virtual environment, and then just go to your home directory and just remove these folders rm rf, and just simply remove this virtual environment and the Django also. So Django also, just remove everything. Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is all from me, guys. Thank you for watching the video.